Hi, it's good to be with you. Welcome to my views and news. Four news stories. First one is about a satellite news channel which has been restricted in Ethiopia. It is not accessible now. This channel was pro government last year. It was founded last year, and I remember that Birhano Jula, Ethiopian army chief, appeared on this channel last year. But things have changed now. It seems government has decided to weaken Amhara dominance in media. Amharas have dominance in Ethiopian media, news media too. It seems government has decided to weaken this dominating position held by Amhara journalists. Secondly, viewers, arrests of top government officials, Amhara government officials ongoing. Several were arrested yesterday. Why are they being arrested? Are they supportive of Fano fighters? Or they're being arrested because they're not proactively backing government's operations. Thirdly, a woreda administrator was kidnapped by Fano fighters yesterday. Now we have confirmed that he is in the custody of Fano fighters. And lastly, African Union at last spoke last night about the situation in the Amhara region. What did African Union say? Is African Union taking a position about the conflict in the Amhara region, or does it want to stay neutral? Firstly, viewers, I think Ethiopian federal government has decided that Amhara dominated media, news media should be confronted. That Amhara news channels, social media sites, channels should be blocked in Ethiopia. Even those news channels which are not totally Amhara but predominantly Amhara, and the news channels were pro-government last year, are now being restricted in Ethiopia. Last year, ESAT split into ESAT and Ethiopian Media Services, EMS. ESAT, we know, was founded by PM Abiy's allies, Birhano Naga and Andargacho Sege. Naga is still PM Abiy's ally, but Andargacho Sege is not Abiy's ally anymore. He is disgruntled with the change in Ethiopia. He announced to make some revelations in coming days. Just a week ago, he fled Ethiopia, and he announced to join Amhara movement. So ESAT was founded. It was funded by Eritrea. It was founded by anti-TPLF Ethiopian politicians. Then last year, ESAT split into ESAT and EMS. Several ESAT journalists decided to split from ESAT, including Massim McConnell. They founded Ethiopian Media Services, EMS, and Ethiopian government officials were appearing on EMS. Birhano Jula was interviewed by Massim McConnell. Then Massim McConnell said goodbye to journalism. He said that he did not want to continue as a journalist. Massim McConnell said goodbye to EMS. Later he returned and he founded his, he made a YouTube channel. EMS continued. It started its satellite television channel, YouTube channel. In Ethiopia, it was broadcasting through Balgaro TV satellite. Balagaro TV is accessible in Ethiopia. EMS is restricted. Ethiopian government has decided to ban Ethiopian media services. No Ethiopian government officials were appearing on EMS recently. EMS was predominantly pro-government last year when there was war in Tigray. Back then, ESAT, EMS both supported the government's military offensive on Tigray. But EMS is led by journalists from different ethnicities, but mainly Amharas. And that is why government has decided to boycott EMS, to restrict EMS. An EMS journalist, Fasil, has confirmed that EMS has been closed in Ethiopia, but he said that through some foreign satellites, EMS will try to be accessible in Ethiopia. So it seems that Ethiopian government has decided to weaken dominating position held by Amhara journalists, Amhara news channels, Amhara media outlets. Ethiopian government is after Ethio 360 journalists too. Several Ethio 360 channels, YouTube channels have been blocked. But they keep on appearing on new YouTube channels. They are appearing on Rumble too. They create new YouTube channels. But government is after these journalists. Gobeje Sisse is also in prison. Baskarma Bira, not a journalist, but she is an educationist, I think, an analyst, in prison too. Then Miaza Muhammad arrested thrice, I think. So, it's now a deliberate policy of Ethiopian federal government that the dominating position held by Amhara news outlets must be weakened. That is why EMS has been banned. Secondly, viewers, arrests of government officials started in the Amhara region yesterday. Top government officials are being arrested. 2 days ago, I reported that North Gondar Zone Administrator Yelialam had been fired. He was fired for speaking about Volkait, and later we learned that he had been arrested. After that, more arrests. Yesterday, North Shoa Zone Deputy Administrator was arrested. His name is Killan Selemariam. From Debre Birhan, another official arrested. He is from Mayor Office. His name is Sigai Bijine. Third official arrested from Debre Birhan is Helemariam. Fourth official from Debre Birhan is from Prosperity Party. His name is Tatik. 4 high-profile arrests in Debre Birhan. Debre Birhan is under Ethiopian military control. Fano fighters had to retreat from Debre Birhan. It means that either government believes these Prosperity Party government officials supported Fano fighters when Fano fighters entered Debre Birhan a few days ago, or they supported Fano fighters' entry in Debre Birhan, or government believes that these government officials are not proactively supporting government's operation against Fano fighters. They have been arrested reportedly. Some other officials have been arrested too, but only top level arrests are being confirmed so far. Prosperity Party officials, lower level, and government officials, I have been saying, are in a difficult position. If they confront Fano fighters, they are assassinated. Several have been assassinated so far. If they don't comply with government instructions, government arrests them. So they are in a very difficult position. They are not heavily protected too. All PP officials, all water level officials are not heavily protected. So they fear for their lives, for the lives of their family members. Sometimes they play double roles. They stay in touch with both Fano fighters and government forces. That is how they want to protect themselves. But they are being arrested, assassinated, killed, put in prisons. Thirdly, Fano fighters yesterday captured a woreda administrator in Wollo. In Wollo, there is a relative calm these days. In South Wollo, it happened. In South Wollo, there is relative calm. We have not seen any large-scale clashes in South Wollo. Desi, Kambolcha, though there is large Amhara population in Wollo, apart from Oromo too. I think there are more Amharas in South Wollo than in North Wollo. But in South Wollo, we saw almost no major protests in support of Fano fighters. And a woreda chief was arrested yesterday, captured by Fano fighters yesterday. Jama woreda in South Wollo. Gatnath Mehrith is the name of the woreda administrator. Which Wollo faction is operating here? Either Mere Vodajos, East Amhara, Fano faction, or Colonel Fantahun Mohabao's Fano faction. But though there is relative calm in Wollo, north-south Wollo, but since Wollo, all Fano factions and Wollo faction is led by Colonel Fantahun. This shows that Colonel Fantahun has managed to build a very strong Fano faction in North Wollo and Waghimra. This Fano faction is very organized and skilled. It captured Lalibela Airport, Gashina, Makath and several other towns. And it is operating on Wollo South Gondar border too, reportedly. Lastly, was African Union spoke last night. It issued a statement about the unrest, the security situation in the Amhara region. African Union headquarters is in Addis Ababa. In Addis Ababa, ethnic Amharas are being arrested who are suspected of having links with Fano fighters. Sometimes random checkings are conducted by security forces. People's mobiles are searched. If anyone is found having posted material in support of Fano fighters, they are being arrested. And we have seen high-profile arrests of politicians like Christian Tadale, Kasat Teshagar, Johannes Bujalio, and several other lower-level officials and Prosperity Party members too. African Union issued a statement, but it did not make a mention of arrests in Addis Ababa. Though African Union is based in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, AU is treating both parties equally. AU says that the parties should stop fighting and start dialogue. Human rights must be respected. Civilians must be protected. And that African Union is ready to play any role in an Ethiopian dialogue to resolve the conflict in the Amhara region. So African Union is not taking any sides. It wants to be neutral. Well, if African Union starts supporting Fano fighters, if it condemns human rights abuses, it means that government will not allow African Union to play any role in the resolution of the conflict. So African Union should be neutral. At the same time, we should play some role to talk to the government, to talk to the groups in the Amhara region for a solution. African Union alone is not known for putting an end to conflicts in Africa. Tigray war ended because there was significant European US involvement in talks. US was the main player. It involved African Union, IGAD, and that is how the war came to an end. And then Tigray also was ready to make some compromises because of its military setbacks. in other parts of Africa too. African Union alone did not end any conflict through dialogue. What is happening in Niger? ECOWAS there announced to militarily intervene in Niger to restore constitutional order. In Niger, last month, military seized power. President is still in the custody of military. ECOWAS regional African bloc announced to intervene in Niger militarily. African Union yesterday could not agree on military intervention in Niger. Now, ECOWAS won't be in a position to intervene too militarily. African Union does not make big decisions. It tries to just issue statements and conflicts go on. It suspends the countries where military coups happen, but then the countries rejoin African Union. That is what has been happening in Africa. African Union never took very strong positions about violations of human rights in Africa, about power grab by military in Africa. Thanks for watching.